Might be growing for some rural communities in Missouri, and the annual Jesse James Days Festival kicks off in Pineville, Missouri. KOAM News at 10 is next. Now at 10, a look at rural food concerns in Missouri, what's impacting families and communities across the state. Plus, a Missouri Supreme Court ruling that could change access to abortion in the state. And Grove, Oklahoma celebrates the groundbreaking of a new 6,400 square foot general store.
The four states' most watched news starts now.
The U.S. Senate is considering a bill that would cancel SNAP benefits for many Americans. A big concern for rural communities in the four states where food insecurity is a growing problem. This is KOAM News at 10. I'm Dow Quick. Across Missouri, Feeding America says the food insecurity rate is 15.4%. And as Chris Bryant reports, when you get into rural areas, the number of children with not enough to eat climbs to 1 in 4.
In Missouri, 41% of those with food insecurity fall below the SNAP threshold, which is at or below 130% of the federal poverty level. So a household of 4 would qualify if their gross income is less than $3,380 per month.
I mean, we're still seeing the same elevated hunger statistics we've seen over the past year.
The United States Bureau of Labor Statistics says for the month of April, the Consumer Price Index rose 2.4%, and the food index increased at the same rate.
And we're attributing that to increased grocery prices, housing prices, and childcare all combining together to make it really difficult for families facing hunger.
Empower Missouri says in the state there are roughly 100 food deserts in both rural and urban areas.
That grocery store just not having enough economic support to stay within that community. I mean, that's why certain programs like the SNAP program are so important, because as dollars are spent in those grocery stores, that incentivizes that grocery store to stay in a rural community.
Now with President Donald Trump's One Big Beautiful Bill before the Senate, the concern focuses on the reduction in SNAP benefits.
I mean, something like that would be a catastrophic stress. And I'd have to highlight is that the food bank could not replace that amount of meals that would be lost if something like the SNAP program were to change or go to a cost-sharing model. I mean, we simply do not have the resources to replace that.
SNAP benefits in Missouri helped 107,000 people get above the poverty line from 2015 to 2019, including 46,000 children. However, there are still some who choose not to participate.
Education around the program as well, because the biggest problem we see is so many people that are qualified for the program automatically take themselves out of the equation because they think I'm not qualified based on income, or that I'm taking care of a grandparent, or any number of reasons.
Another reason may be more personal.
Pride is a huge issue, and it's because we've really made it difficult for families to ask for help, because so many times we're immediately attacking them and thinking they're stealing from a system.
Browning says when one community or family is helped, the whole unit is lifted as well.
It's the best thing for everyone, because as soon as they are getting access to food, that allows everything to start happening that much more quickly, whether that's applying for a job, remaining productive, or just taking care of their family. And that helps out the entire community by being able to access food in a timely manner.
Now, under the proposed budget, it's estimated 150,000 people in Missouri are at risk of losing some amount of SNAP benefits, and 68,000 could lose all SNAP benefits. SNAP isn't the only source for help. Tomorrow, we're going to take a look at local efforts to address food insecurity for children this summer. Let's check in with meteorologist Lindsay Gaffney now for a first look at the weather.
Well, so far we've had a pretty nice day today, a few clouds, but we finally got to see the sunshine again after so many rainy days. Unfortunately, we are going to see another rainy day coming up tomorrow. We have showers and thunderstorms that are going to be continuing to push in through the overnight hours. You can see by about 1:30 to 2 a.m. southeastern Kansas, most of southeastern Kansas getting some of these rain showers starting to push in a little bit further. Now by 5 a.m. all of these showers and thunderstorms are going to stay north of I-44, but after 5 a.m. we're all going to see some heavy rain and thunderstorms. Now we're not expecting a severe threat with any of these storms, but we are going to see some decent rain lingering until most of the day tomorrow. By mid-morning, it all starts to push out towards the east on the Missouri and Arkansas side, but we're left with isolated showers that remain throughout the day. Now again, no severe threat tonight or tomorrow, and then we're back to sunny skies for the weekend. I'll have those details coming up.
See you soon. A decision this week from the Missouri Supreme Court has added more confusion regarding the current state of abortion access. In November, Missouri voters passed Amendment 3, which removed the state abortion ban that took place following the overturn of Roe v. Wade. But now the court has ruled that a district judge applied the wrong standard in their ruling that allowed abortions to resume in Missouri. Regulations that had been placed on hold were ones setting cleanliness standards for abortion facilities and a requirement to be licensed by the state. The district judge had ruled the licensing requirements were discriminatory, allowing Planned Parenthood to resume abortion care. Yesterday, the Missouri Supreme Court overturned that ruling. And as a result, Planned Parenthood has stopped performing abortions in Missouri. In a statement, the organization says, quote, "Our patients will remain our North Star, and we will continue to fight for their freedom to the constitutionality protected health care they voted for." On the other hand, State Attorney General Andrew Bailey applauded the Supreme Court decision. He said it's, quote, "a win for women and children and sends a clear message. Abortion providers must comply with state law regarding basic safety and sanitation requirements." This legislative session, Missouri lawmakers have approved another ballot measure that could reinstate an abortion ban. The Baxter Springs, Kansas Chamber of Commerce hosted a big event for small businesses today. The Kansas Small Business Development Center invited small business owners out for a fast-paced workshop filled with practical tips and tools. Business advisors were on hand to provide strategies to improve operations, boost marketing, and help business owners avoid common pitfalls.
I think it's good to bring small businesses together. One, just to kind of network. And two, I'm hoping to leave them with some tips and tricks that they can take home today to actually make their business a little more successful.
The Kansas Small Business Development Center network promotes economic growth in the Sunflower State by providing management, marketing, and technical assistance to small businesses. The Seneca Cayuga tribe today broke ground on a big new business in Grove, Oklahoma. Flint Fire Mercantile will be a 6,400 square foot general store, produce market, fuel station, deli, and cafe.
Reservation area, we encompass over 79 square miles, and our closest access to food is generally Grove or Seneca. So the distance our community members and tribal members have to travel for food and gasoline is quite considerable because due to the distance.
Completion is scheduled for November. The Flint Fire Mercantile should be open for business in early 2026. A Scottish company transforms construction rubble into revolutionary bricks, now certified for U.S. homes. That story's coming up. But up first, Jesse James Days fires off in Pineville, Missouri. Pineville, Missouri's annual Jesse James Days celebration is officially underway. The event recognizes a movie about the outlaw. A portion of that movie was filmed in Pineville back in 1938. As KOAM's Lonnie Walton reports, the Hometown Festival also raises vital support for the local fire department.
Yeah, I came here a couple times whenever I was a kid.
Justin Smith is a local who grew up in the Pineville area and attended this event. Now, he's using this event to jumpstart his own baking business.
Try to find alternatives for cinnamon rolls, like we got Oreo cinnamon rolls and blueberry cinnamon rolls.
Here's another.
I am the manager of the McDonald County Recycling Center, and we're just promoting our recycling center, letting the community know that we are out there.
We also met a local who says he has ties to the Jesse James films.
Grandpa was one of the extras. He wrote as Tyrone Powers in the movie. He done a lot of the acting in it.
Mariah Brown is the spokesperson for this event. She says Jesse James Days is huge for this town.
Actually are the town that the movie Jesse James was filmed in, so that's why we do this every year.
Brown says the money from this event will be well spent.
The proceeds go to the fire department, so that way we can buy them new nozzles, new uniforms,
and there's just so much to do.
And a pageant, which is tonight. And then we run bingo, which is tomorrow night through Saturday. And then we have a parade on Saturday as well.
Smith says this event was a lot more fun back in the day, but now?
Being a first-time vendor here, it was kind of stressful the day before and the morning of.
Together for Jesse James Days, almost iconic that an outlaw of the past is doing a world of good for a small community today. Reporting in Pineville, I'm Lonnie Walton, KOAM News.
Jesse James Days runs through Saturday, ending with a parade at 5 p.m., followed by a barbecue chicken dinner. Lindsay returns next with a complete look at your forecast, and a little bit later we're going to take you to the biggest fundraiser of the year for Wildcat Glades in Joplin.
Well, we've seen a nice day today, but unfortunately going to start to see those rain showers pushing in the next couple of hours. Now you can see downtown Joplin from the Cornell Arts and Entertainment Complex. We do start to see some clouds already pushing into the area, and showers and thunderstorms are going to continue in the next couple of hours as well. So we do see heavier rain held off until the morning hours, but isolated showers sticking around through the overnight hours. Now, not going to be severe, but we could get some thunderstorms as we push in through the overnight hours. Now, 2 a.m. southeastern Kansas getting those showers, isolated thunderstorm or two, most likely only going to see lightning, some thunder, but no severe threat. Now, further into the morning by about 5 to 6 a.m., all of these showers and thunderstorms mostly stay north of I-44, north of the Joplin area. However, just by 8 a.m., we are going to see the heavy rain descend into Joplin. So if you're planning on making a commute into work, you're going to be met with some rainy weather. Now, all of that slowly but surely starts to push out towards the east, mainly on the Missouri and Arkansas side. However, you can see Oswego, Columbus, and even getting up to Pittsburgh, still getting some lingering showers and thunderstorms by mid-morning. This is about 10:30 to 11 a.m. Then we're left with mostly isolated showers throughout the remainder of the afternoon and into early evening. By about 8 p.m., starting to see the sunshine in those northern counties, and all those clouds will continue to push out of the way overnight and into Friday, finally getting to see some sunshine again. Now, we've seen so much rainfall over the last couple of weeks. Luckily, we're not seeing as much rain accumulation with this system, mainly only 1/10 of an inch to about an inch, slightly more in some isolated areas, but not enough to really cause any flooding concerns. After that, we go into the weekend. We've got this ridge setting up, which is a high pressure system. It brings warm air, sunny skies into our area. So by Friday, we're in the upper 70s, might hit 80 degrees. And then heading into Saturday, we're going to be in the low 80s to mid 80s. So we're finally getting back up to average temperatures for this time of year. Now, Saturday evening, we've got this little shortwave trough. I want to keep an eye on that. Not going to be a severe threat, but it could bring some pop-up thunderstorms into the area as it pushes in. It's a shortwave trough, which means it's just a little kink in our upper level flow, just a dip, which could cause a couple pop-up thunderstorms. Less than a 10% chance, so I don't have it on the forecast, but those are going to be late afternoon, early evening. But outside of that, the whole weekend is looking beautiful, sunny, temperatures in the 80s. We do have thunderstorms and severe weather returning Tuesday through Thursday, lingering into Friday morning, with the main severe threat potential on Thursday. So we're going to want to keep an eye on next week, Tuesday again through Friday morning. But until then, temperatures in the 80s and sunny skies remain.
Lindsay, thanks. Engineers say they found a way to clean up one of the construction industry's dirtiest problems, the mountain of waste left behind that's polluting the planet. A company in Scotland has created the K-brick, a building brick made entirely of recycled rubble. Makers say it significantly slashes the carbon footprint of new buildings, producing 95% fewer emissions than traditional clay bricks.
Now, this, for all intents and purposes, looks like gravel, but actually what you're seeing here is old bricks, old rubble, old stone, and this is one of the key constituents, which is all recycled material from the construction industry.
Kinetec says using its K-bricks in a typical two-bedroom home could slash carbon emissions equivalent to taking a gas-powered car off the road for an entire year. The recycled bricks are now certified for use in the U.S. as well as the UK. Climate change could be causing more cases of cancer among women. A study in Frontiers found a small increase in Breast, ovarian, uterine, and cervical cancer might be linked to the effects of climate change, including rising temperatures, worse food and water security, and poor air quality. The study's authors say more access to cancer screenings could be a key factor in saving lives. Maternal mental health in the U.S. is getting worse, it seems. A study by Columbia University found the number of mothers who said they had excellent mental health dropped 12% between 2016 and 2023. And the number of mothers who said they have fair or poor mental health rose more than 3%. The study notes this could be connected to a similar decline in physical health. Still ahead, the Oklahoma City Thunder have a chance to clinch a spot in the NBA Finals tonight. And Diamond High School softball plays in the state championship for the second year in a row. John Dales has those stories and more up next in sports.
Diamond High School softball plays in the Class II state championship game tonight, and the Wildcats have the chance to defend their 2024 state title. Diamond faces Warsaw, looking for its second consecutive state championship. Top of the first, 2 outs. Aubrey Ball lines one into the gap. That gets down, and she's into second with a stand-up double, but Diamond can't bring her home. Bottom of the inning, 2 runners on. Taylin Reeder gets a strikeout. Her first 6 outs all come via the strikeout. We're scoreless in the third. Warsaw with runners on the corners, and Briley Brewser singles through the infield. Just like that, Diamond trails 1-0. Same score. Now we go to the 5th inning. Kenzie Crook hits the farthest ball of the night, but that's caught in center near the warning track. Now bottom 6. Reeder gets the final batter of the inning to strike out looking. She finishes the day with 12 strikeouts. Wildcats have one last inning to tie it up. And in the top of the 7th, Ball at the plate. She lines this one into center. That hangs up into the air, and that drops in for a hit. She goes all the way to second with a leadoff double. Now 1 out in the inning. Taylin Daniels comes to the plate. She grounds it to short. They're going to make the out at first, but the tying run is now at third base. Here's Crook. Wildcats, she's their final hope, and she pops this one up towards the second baseman. That gets caught, and Diamond's hopes of a second straight state title fall just short. Diamond loses 1-0 in the state championship. Wildcats' incredible season finishes with a runner-up finish at state.
They're resilient and they work through pressure, and they're going to go to the last pitch. And, we work through that all season, and, even through practice, we go to the last ball. And I think that they have done a great example of fighting through things.
Meanwhile, Lamar High School baseball has its season come to a close tonight in a Class III sectional game against Clever. Final score 3-2. The Tigers finished the season District 12 champions with an 18-8 record. As is our Wednesday night tradition here, it's time to take a look at the Kansas City Royals and St. Louis Cardinals in tonight's Diamond Deep Dive. We'll start with the Royals, who are at home tonight, wrapping up a series with the Reds. They win it 3-2. Noah Cameron gets the win on the mound after going 6 1/3, allowing just 1 earned run. Bobby Witt Jr. with 2 RBI for Kansas City. Now, after tonight's victory, the Royals are up to 30 wins on the year. As you can see, the AL Central loaded. So that's only good enough for 4th place in the division. KC is 7 games back of the Tigers for 1st place and 1 game back of the Twins for the final AL wildcard spot. Cardinals in Baltimore, they win tonight as well. Final score 6-4. Big game at the plate for Brendan Donovan and Mason Wynn. The Redbirds middle infielders combined for 7 hits, 3 RBI, and 5 runs scored. Everybody near the top of the NL Central standings just keep on winning. The Cards have won 2 in a row, but they're still 3 games back of the Cubs for 1st place because Chicago's won 4 in a row. In the wild card race, St. Louis is currently a game up on the Giants for the NL's 3rd spot. And the NBA playoffs roll along, and tonight the Oklahoma City Thunder have the chance to clinch a spot in the NBA Finals for the first time in 13 years, and that's exactly what they do. Oklahoma City coasts to a 124-94 win over Minnesota, winning the Western Conference Finals in 5 games. This one all OKC from the jump. The Thunder led 26-9 at the end of the first quarter. They didn't look back. Now the Thunder await the winner of the Knicks and Pacers in the Eastern Conference Finals. Indiana currently has a 3-1 series lead. Back to Diamond High School softball. Great effort from those girls all season and tonight. Just came up 1 run short, 1 base short.
I know the Wildcats and their fans obviously are disappointed, but boy, those young women have a lot of reason to be proud. What a great season.
Yeah.
We'll be right back.
Well, temperatures tomorrow, upper 60s, low 70s across the area, and we're finally seeing more showers. But after tomorrow, we're finally going to get to see the sunshine. Now, tomorrow not expecting a severe threat, rain lingering through the day with isolated thunderstorms. Warm up for the weekend, back into the 80s, and sunny skies return.
That's good. Get ready for a night of food, fun, and fundraising at Wildcat Glades. The Wildcat Friends Group is hosting its 4th annual Crawdads at the Creek. It's their biggest fundraiser of the year. It'll be on June 6th at the Pavilion on Shoal Creek. Last year's event, which you see here, drew a lively crowd, and this year promises even more excitement with a delicious crawdad dinner, live music, a dessert auction, and yard games, all under the glow of a cozy event tent. Funds raised help support vital education programs at the Wildcat Glades Nature Center, inspiring the next generation of nature lovers.
All of the funds that we raise at this event go towards our education programs, habitat restoration, trail maintenance, just all of the different varied things that we do at Wildcat Glades. We really want to encourage people to just come out and enjoy nature. You know, we do a lot to really make sure that people understand what we have here.
Fun for just about everybody, maybe not so much for the crawdads, but everybody else. Tickets are $50. They include dinner and drinks with alcoholic beverages available for purchase. You can find a link for tickets on the Wildcat Glades website. Check it out. Final sports note.
Well, tonight the Missouri High School Softball State Championships wrap up, and then tomorrow in Kansas, baseball and softball state tournaments get started. So we're looking forward to it.
Yes, indeed we are. Don't forget the morning show at 5 a.m. Let's make it a great tomorrow.